participating via Zoom. Please state your name and comment when asking a question. The MAG public comment process allows members of the public to comment on items that fall under MAG jurisdiction. If you'd like to comment at today's meeting, please complete a request to speak form. MAG staff can always assist with any questions you may have. If you're parked in the garage, don't forget the validation stamps running around the counter here. If you purchase a transit ticket, see staff. Also, there's hearing assist devices for the hearing impaired. We have a brand new big 110-inch screen. So if you'd like to come join us, it's very bright and it's nice to look at. We do have a couple, Josh Ford, you were officially appointed, so welcome. We also had Miguel from City of Phoenix. He'll be covering for, well, he'll be taking over for Matthew Bryan. And then Roy Harrington's been here a while. Who else? Oh, we have from the Arizona Rock Products Association. Wanted to welcome Rob Castalni. Close, all one word. And also from ARPA Representative Hunter Garrison. I won't butcher that one. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll move into agenda item number 2 called the audience. This is an opportunity for the public to comment on items that fall under the MAG jurisdiction that are not on the agenda, informational items or items on the agenda for discussion and not up for action. 15 minutes to be provided for the call of the audience, unless the chair requests an exception to the limit. I have not received any requests to speak from the call of the audience. MAG also provides opportunity for members of the public to submit written comments via the MAG website. Any comments received 2 hours prior to the meeting are shared with committee members in advance of the meeting for consideration and will be included in the formal meeting minutes. Staff, Gordon, have we received any written comments for the call of the audience?
No comments received online.
Thank you. Welcome, Peter. Agenda item number 3 is the approval of July 2nd, 2025 meeting minutes. We're going to run through those real quick. Please refresh your memory. If there's any corrections that we need to note, now is the time to do it. We can make those corrections.
Hi, Gordon. Real quick, I looked like you guys were trying to get a hold of me. I have a new computer and can't figure out their speakers, but the ADGER is Adrian Gears. I used to be with Nina and now I'm with Jensen. So apologize for the delay in introducing myself to everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right. That was the meeting minutes. At this point, I'm not hearing any corrections that need to be made. I'll entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes as written.
Mr. Chairman, I'll motion.
Thank you, Jose. Can I get a second motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Thank you, Dan. With that, we'll move into a roll call vote.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I'm sorry, who made the motion? Was that Jose? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and start with you then. For the approval of the July 2nd minutes. Phoenix?
Yes.
Scottsdale?
Yes.
Surprise?
Yes.
Tempe? Tempe?
Yes.
Thank you. Tolleson? Youngtown?
Yes.
ADOT?
Yes.
Avondale?
Yes.
Buckeye? Buckeye, Chandler,
Yes.
El Mirage,
Yes.
thank you, Florence, Gilbert,
Yes.
Glendale,
Yes.
Goodyear, Maricopa County,
Yes.
Mesa,
Yes.
and Peoria.
Yes.
Thank you. It looks like the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Gordon. Thank you, everyone. Let's move into agenda item number 4. This is case 25-01 miscellaneous corrections. There was an updated miscellaneous correction that came in. I believe it was from Maricopa County regarding updating the guardrail detail number. I don't think this got in front of everybody yet. Somebody from Maricopa County, is that you, Marty? You want to
Yes, this is Marty. We're gonna be taking 3102, we're just gonna make it 3101. And then 3101 is gonna be go down to 3103. And so of course we're just shuffling that around a little bit, to make it make more sense. And that detail is just referenced one place, one time at that location. We just like that people reference in there. And there's no other references, need to be adjusted.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't even seen it yet, so this.
Right. I just sent it out to you today, this morning, so.
Yeah, thank you. I saw the email come through, but hadn't had a chance to open it. Gordon briefed me on it. Does anybody have any questions on this miscellaneous correction? This proposed miscellaneous correction?
Hi, Mr. Chairman, this is Jose. The question to Marty, do you know the timeline of the changes for the counties update? Is it gonna be in line with MAG release next year?
It's always in line with MAG, so, so when MAG publishes, we will publish our supplement.
All right.
Thank you, Marty. Any other miscellaneous corrections we need to add? Not that I'm aware of, anyway. Or any questions on the miscellaneous corrections from the committee members? So this one, Gordon, we should probably move up for action at September's meeting. Would that be appropriate?
Yeah, typically we vote on this at the last meeting, and hopefully September will be the last one this year.
Okay, so we'll be voting on that the next meeting on all of it. Thank you. All right, agenda item number 5, case 25-02. This is for the precast reinforced concrete box culverts. This one obviously is open for discussion and possible action. I know Glendale's comments were previously acknowledged and addressed. Did anybody else have any well, first, is there any updates that the committee may not be aware of on this case from the case sponsor?
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, the latest and greatest update is in the packet, and the summary there reflects the effort from discussion in the working group and originally in the main committee, kind of looking at the options for the backfill, for the side fill and overfill. So we've revamped that a little bit. Obviously, the architect here is Adriana. She's online too, so we can, if anyone has any further questions. But so we kind of revamped the spec and had further discussions on that at the working group. Going through that, so some sections in the spec have been kind of updated there. The CLSM, the reference to section 640 for where the widths are less than 12 inches on each side of the box. You need to use slurry since we're not going to have the compaction like we discussed. And then that paragraph there referring to kind of the talking more about the side fill and overfill allowances and requirements. That's the latest revisions that came out of last month.
So that was on the 23rd was when the revisions were made, correct?
Yeah, it was later in July. Yeah, correct.
Okay. Well, I don't know if anyone wants to motion to vote on it at this meeting today, or if we want to vote on it in September. I don't know if everybody's had the opportunity and to review the comments and are comfortable with the way it's written. I am, but I'm not everybody. So with that, is there any questions from committee members or any concerns from committee members?
Mr. Chairman, just looking at that new paragraph.
Here, Michael.
Just that kind of day for me. Mr. Chairman, I'm looking at that paragraph on the backfill requirements. I'm noting it does identify a percent of maximum density. Would the sponsors one also include any reference to optimum moisture?
That's usually coincides.
Yeah,
with-
usually within a certain percentage of optimum moisture at or near, within 3%, something like that, plus or minus.
No, that's a good point.
They typically go together. Okay. Open to incorporating that to match other sections. Adriana, do you have any thoughts on that?
I'll have to look into that.
What is the compaction method? Is it 698 or it's not a 50? Oh, T99.
Yes, typically it would be something that, where you reference, laboratory dry density when tested, let's see, compacted at least 90% of maximum dry density when tested in accordance of AASHTO T99 at or within 3% of optimum moisture content.
Is that plus or minus 3%?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, or just put plus or minus 3% of optimum moisture content. You don't want to have people pounding dry stuff.
You got that, Warren?
Yes, I think we did. Thank you.
Typically, ABC is 3%. It's normally what I've used for years.
Thanks, Peter.
Any other questions or comments from the committee members? Does anybody feel comfortable moving forward with making that moisture content percentage modification? Or do people need more time to review this case? So since it's up for possible action, I'll entertain a motion to approve and add that moisture specification to it as part of that. So I'll open it up to the committee members if anybody wants to motion.
Mr. Chair, I think it's appropriate that I can motion, correct?
Absolutely.
I will motion to approve with the modification for the plus or minus 3% optimum moisture content, right?
Yep, that's it. Thank you, Warren. Can I get a second motion and we can vote on this?
Yeah, this is Jim Badowich with Avondale. I'll second.
Thank you, Jim. All right, with that, we'll move into a vote.
Thank you, Chair. Let's start with the maker of the motion from Chandler.
Yes.
El Mirage,
Yes.
Florence, Gilbert,
Yes.
Glendale,
Yes.
Goodyear, Maricopa County,
Yes.
Mesa,
Yes.
Peoria,
Yes.
Phoenix,
Yes.
Scottsdale,
Yes.
Surprise,
Yes.
Tempe,
Yes.
Tolleson, Youngtown,
Yes.
ADOT,
Yes.
Avondale,
Yes.
Buckeye. Okay, the motion passes unanimously.
All right, thank you, Gordon. Thank you, everybody. Warren, thank you and your team for the effort that you put into that case. I know it's been going on a while.
Thank you, everyone. Of course, thank you, Adriana. Like I said, main architect of this case.
All right, thank you, Adriana. Moving on to agenda item number 6. This is going to be the case 25-03, section 751, cross-link polyethylene pipe, the PEX A. This one is also up for information, discussion, and possible action. Warren, you want to provide an update on this case?
Thanks again, Mr. Chair. Nothing new to report. We did touch on this in the working group and felt like it was ready. No new comments that I've received.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's been in front of everybody for quite a while. With that, I'll open it up for discussion. Any committee members have any questions or comments on the case?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, this is Ryan Nichols from City Mesa. I'll just I'll note that City Mesa, we've discussed this product, and at this time we're not interested in using it. We won't be adding it to our approved products list, but we don't object to the addition to MAG. We'll support that addition to MAG, but at this time we have chosen not to move forward with using the product. So just to let everyone know, come vote time, I will support the case, even though we won't be using it.
Well, thank you, Ryan. And
Yeah, appreciate that, Ryan.
I'll jump right on that, Ryan. We're the same way over in Glendale. We'll use it on the backside of or we've tried a pilot project with it on the backside of the backflow preventer, maintained by, it would be the Streets Irrigation Division. But our distribution guys at this point of time are not interested in using it as services to the meter. But, over time things change. So, but right now we are in support of getting it in MAG for sure. That would help us on the backside of the meter or on the backside of the backflow, but still within the right of way. It'll give us some flexibility there. So thank you. Thank you, Ryan and Warren. Any other questions or comments from committee members? All right, I'm not hearing anything. At that point, I think we'll entertain a motion to vote. It is your case, Warren. Do you think it's ready to go?
I believe it's ready to go. I will motion to approve.
Or to vote? Yeah, thank you, Warren. Motion to vote on this case. Can I get a second motion?
Youngtown will second.
Did you get that?
Was that Marty Robbins?
Youngtown.
Thanks.
Right. Thank you. With that, we'll move into a roll call or into a vote. Okay.
This is case 2503. Again, starting with Chandler.
Yes.
El Mirage.
Yes.
Lawrence. Gilbert.
Yes.
Glendale.
Yes.
Maricopa County.
Yes.
Mesa.
Yes.
Peoria.
Yes.
Phoenix.
Yes.
Scottsdale.
Yes.
Surprise.
Yes.
Tempe.
Yes.
Collison. Youngtown.
Yes.
ADOT.
Yes.
Avondale.
Yes.
Buckeye. Not present. Okay. The motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, Gordon. Thank you, everyone. All right, we'll move into agenda item number 7, I believe it is. Yep. This is going to be case 25-04 to update the Arizona standard test methods to the AASHTO equivalents. This one is brought to us by the Asphalt Materials and Concrete Working Group. First, we'll go through and provide, I'm not aware of any updates. Are there any updates you want to provide on this case? We're having technical difficulties. Hold on one second, guys. Yeah, send over one of those mics. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you. Okay, so there has been no updates to this. The field certification and soils and aggregate certification have already converted to ASHTO. In September, the asphalt's going. ADOT's bought all the equipment. They have it in-house. They've gotten all the information out to the proctors for the new checklist and everything. So ADOT's ready to roll. Nothing's changed on that side. So I think if you guys are ready to vote, ready to vote on it, I don't see any changes moving forward.
Yeah, we initially talked, thank you for that. We initially talked about kicking the can down to September, but then at the last meeting, I think we all collectively agreed that we'd move it up for action for this meeting. I think it needs to go. I haven't seen any changes on it. We know what's coming. I say, let's get this through. Does any committee members have any questions on this or any comments on this case? I'm not hearing anything, and I think it's crucial that we push this through so that we can be in alignment with ATTI and with the state. With that, it's up for possible action. So any voting members, I'll entertain a motion to vote.
Mr. Chairman, this is Dan Nissen with City of Peoria. Make a motion to approve case 2504 as written.
Thank you, Dan. Can I get a second from a voting member?
This is Warren. I'll second.
Thank you, Warren. With that, we'll move into a roll call vote.
Thank you, Chair. Let's start with the maker of the motion, which was Dan from Peoria.
Yes.
Phoenix.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. You got it. Thank you, sir.
Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Yes.
Prize.
Yes.
Tempe.
Yes.
Youngtown.
Yes.
ADOT.
Yes.
Avondale.
Yes.
Buckeye. Chandler.
Yes.
El Mirage.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Glendale.
Yes.
Goodyear. Maricopa County.
Yes.
And Mesa.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Gordon. Thank you, everyone. We'll move into agenda item number 8. It's case 25-08. This is new section 746 for the fiberglass reinforced polymer mortar pipe. This one was brought, Arvid's not here today. He was the case sponsor. We do have Jim from the Water Sewer Working Group. Jim, do you recall any updates that we may need to provide? I don't. I know there was a comment. I believe you may have had it, Jim, about the 5% deflection versus 7% deflection. I vaguely remember that comment, but was there any updates that you think we need to provide to the committee?
I think the last one we have, and Gordon should have it, we did, Arvid presented it at the working group meeting. We went through it. We're gonna leave there is gonna be this section you see out in front of you for testing in the materials section, and not in 611 for now. And we did take out for water, so this is only mainly going to be used for sewer and storm drain. That was pretty much it. We really didn't have any other further discussion or any other things to add to it. So I think, Gordon, you might want to confirm, but I think this is the latest version we have. And we thought it was ready to go. So.
Yes, this is the latest version, and there have been no changes since last month.
Perfect. Jim, thank you for stepping up like that. I appreciate it. I vaguely remember those conversations, but thanks for clarifying a lot of that.
Yeah, there are some differences in the testing, and that's fine because we should include it, but and maybe at a later time, a later case, we'll maybe, drag it over into 611, but for now, I think we're just going to leave it in the materials section of 7 to 746.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate at this point. With those updates, I'll open it up to committee members for any questions or comments. This one is up for possible action today. I'm not hearing anything. I think this one, I feel like this one's ready to go the way it's written. Jim, do you have any thoughts on that?
No, I'm ready, and if it's okay, I would like to make a motion to vote.
Yeah, that was my second question to you, Jim. Would you like to motion on this case?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I make motion that we approve or vote on this case.
Vote on it to approve. Thank you.
As presented here.
With that, I'll entertain a second motion on this case.
This is Warren. I'll second.
Thank you, Warren. All right, we'll move into a roll call vote.
Okay. Let's start with Avondale,
Yes.
Buckeye, Chandler,
Yes.
El Mirage,
Yes.
Lawrence, Gilbert,
Yes.
Glendale,
Yes.
Goodyear, Maricopa County,
Yes.
Mesa,
Yes.
Peoria,
Yes.
Phoenix,
Yes.
Scottsdale,
Yes.
Surprise,
Yes.
Tempe,
Yes.
Tolleson, Youngtown,
Yes.
and ADOT.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Gordon. Thank you, everyone. All right. Let's move into agenda item number 9. This is case 25-09, revise details 303-1 and 303-2 for pipe joint restraints. This one here, the updates that I have, this is a case that I'm sponsoring, Glendale sponsoring. We did some corrections based on comments that we received from Phoenix, Mesa. Thank you guys, and some of the industry professionals. We're looking at, on the 7th, we made some corrections to add the word bear to the title of the detail 303-1 and 303-2. We did a little bit of housekeeping with the table, merged some blank spaces, removed unused columns, bolded some headings. We also centered the values within the cells. We did capitalize all the notes and assumptions to be consistent with the other details. 303-1 and 303-2, we changed the word bend to bends with an S at the end. Also, the note 2, note 2 add and subject to approval by the agency. Note 6, the technical message is going to remain the same, but we did modify the language slightly for just clarity purposes. There was a little confusion on that, but like I said, the technical message stayed the same. The assumptions, we removed the word adequate. A couple people pointed that out because we already had a safety factor in there, so that made perfect sense. The top table, the 24-inch pipe, 90-degree horizontal bend, we found an error in the length. It was 32. We moved it to 77 where it needs to be. And then it went out for review. And then one other item was caught on the 17th. And it was as simple as note 6, change restrain pipe joints must to restrained with an ED pipe joints must. So that's really all the updates on that. This has been in front of the committee members for at least, since the 17th. It is up for possible action I'm comfortable with it the way it's written. I think it's long overdue. If other committee members are not comfortable, we can always kick the can down to September. But with that, I'll open it up for discussion from committee members, comments or questions.
Sorry, Chair. I don't believe that it was placed on the agenda for possible action today. So
It wasn't?
I don't
Well,
think it was.
Bad on that, Gordon.
I think we're going to have to wait on that one.
This one will be up for action at September's meeting.
I have a question about that one.
All right.
Because it seems to be different across different municipalities relating to valves and if valves that are in line are considered dead ends. So I don't know if there's some verbiage that could be put in there to help clarify, or if we just rely on that municipality's supplements to MAG.
So their supplements to MAG, Mike, are going to be obviously just that, supplements, but a dead
Yeah,
end.
and I never see that verbiage anywhere in there. It's always a question we have to ask, even in, going through design, trying to figure out restraint lengths. Some municipalities consider the valve a dead end, of course, only when it's closed, and some don't.
Yeah, and the way I look at it, and I know what you're asking to put some language in here to, incorporate that condition. We can incorporate, a lot of conditions. That's one. If that one's a sticky point for the committee members, I can certainly look at putting that in there, just any kind of, I'll figure out how to write the language in, but yeah, if it's a dead end, it's a dead end, whether there's a valve on it or a blow off on it, it's still a dead end and you would have to restrain accordingly. Any thoughts from committee members on that comment?
Yeah, Mr. Chair. I understand Mike's comment here and tend to agree. I think I personally, and I think representing City Mesa, I'd say City Mesa agrees that we treat a valve that's in a main line as a dead end because of the possible closure. So I would support adding in the table where it says dead ends, add or valves, and that would be simple enough. But I think that's because we will always treat a valve as a dead end because of its possible closure.
I appreciate that perspective, Ryan.
And I didn't know, and I'm just spitballing here, but maybe it's just some verbiage under assumptions that, to mention valves, and that's up to the approving agency or something as simple as that, just so it gets some attention somewhere.
So isn't there in MAG, I think, a requirement that you're supposed to use a concrete thrust block under all valves in a different spec?
A valve support.
Yeah, that's all that is. That's
I
just
don't know
under
if
it.
it's considered a thrust block.
No.
Yeah, so yeah, that makes sense. So we're clear that is not a thrust block. So.
No, that's just for the valve to sit on, and then if the riser gets any downward force from traffic or something, it keeps it from shearing the pipe off.
Yeah.
So maybe under dead ends, the column to Ryan's note, the column dead ends and valves potentially, and maybe under the assumptions, valves are considered dead end when closed or something when in the closed position or something along those lines.
Could you just put an asterisk at the end of the ends and just a little note below that says includes valves?
I would probably, Chairman, just note 7, right? All inline valves shall be treated as dead ends for the purpose of calculating restraint.
Yeah, that's nice and clean.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with that so quick, Jose? Get that in the meeting notes.
Don't ask me to repeat it.
No, that was good. I don't know if everybody grasped that, what Jose had said, but I think that sounds great under the notes. All right, I'll look at getting that modification done, and we're going to put this up for possible action at the next meeting. Any other comments or questions from committee members?
This is Warren. I thought that was a great comment as well, so I'm glad that was brought up.
All right, can you repeat what Jose had suggested?
About the inline valves?
Yeah, in your own words. No, thank you though. Thanks everybody. I appreciate the assistance with this quite the task. All right, any other questions or comments from committee members? All right, we'll move into agenda item number 10. This is case 25-10. Update your cell phone settings to mute. Update mag detail to reference the outside right-of-way spillway detail. This one's also up for discussion and possible action. This is being sponsored by Peter with the outside right-of-way working group. Peter, do you have any updates you want to provide?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You'll see in the package this time, Gordon did the working group a great service by redrafting everything to a nice, attractive looking and standard looking appearance now. So again, thank you very much for doing that for us. But now you do have the cleaned up version as opposed to the red line one in the package. I don't remember any specific changes other than the detail itself was cleaned up. The details were cleaned up. For details, and again, just kind of reorganized and moved around more than anything else. But all prior comments have been incorporated. Now we just have them a nice clean version.
So all committee members have seen the previous comments, revisions, and now we're just looking at the clean version. Any questions from committee members or any comments on this case from committee members? All right, I'm not hearing any. This one is up for possible action. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to vote and approve.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I did remember one change that I made in the final details is a reference to 510-2.
Oh.
I think in the original markup, it still said 510-1 for the scupper.
That's right. We had them as 510 general, and then you added the -1 and -2.
Yes.
To be specific.
Where's that at on here?
That would be
It's like right
on
here.
the
Okay.
yeah, on the type detail. Is
Gotcha.
on the far right side of that type
Here
detail.
and here, and then for the curb cuts, it goes to 510-1 because there was two separate spillways.
Yeah, the plan views on the scuppers, again, on the right detail, section CC on the other scupper detail, and then just the type plan views. Basically, type plan views, instead of just saying 510, now they have 510-1 and or 510-2, depending if it's a scupper or if it's a curb cut.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
I completely forgot. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that up, Gordon. Any other questions or comments from committee members? All right, once again, that correction was in the agenda packet, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I see it on my end. All right. Thank you. I'm not hearing any questions or comments, so once again, I'll entertain a motion to approve on this case. You want a motion on your own case? You don't have to.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to request a motion for a vote on case 25-10.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second.
We got a second from Jose. All right, at this point, we'll move into a roll call vote.
Okay. Since Peter can't vote on the case, let's go ahead and move to our second, which was from Phoenix.
Yes.
Scottsdale. Scottsdale. Case 25-10, Surprise.
Yes.
Tempe,
Yes.
Tolleson, Youngtown,
Yes.
ADOT,
Yes.
Avondale,
Yes.
Buckeye, Chandler,
Yes.
El Mirage,
Yes.
Lawrence, Gilbert,
Yes.
Glendale,
Yes.
Goodyear, Maricopa County,
Yes.
Mesa,
Yes.
and Peoria.
Yes.
Roy, are you on from Scottsdale? Okay. For those who voted, it passed unanimously.
Gordon, thank you, everyone. All right, we'll move into agenda item number 11. This is case 25-11, revise detail. Revised detail 423-1, 2, 424-1 and 2. This is for the cast iron manhole frames and covers. This one's been through the working group a little bit. There was a lot of last minute discussion, correspondence, I should say, that went back and forth, email correspondence regarding multiple items in this. So this was up for possible action at this meeting, but I don't think it's, at this point, I'd like to see it in front of the committee members for a good solid couple weeks prior to voting. So I don't think everybody's had the opportunity to review the most recent changes. So with that, Gordon, do you want to provide a small update on this case? Would you mind?
Sure. Yes, this was another case where I started drafting the final detail based on the red lines. And for the watertight manhole framing covers, it just mentioned to do the same changes as the other details, which for the most part was no problem. Basically removing the extra dimensions that weren't needed and the extra sections. But for these final details, the clean ones, they were posted on our website yesterday, I believe, and I sent out an email so you could take a look at them. But essentially, one of the things I found when I ran into the watertight ones was that there wasn't any place other than section C where it talks about the gasket and the detail for it. So that section C needed to be left in, but just with the dimensions removed. So that's one of the things that was different from the other two details. So that's the changes that I provided, and I know that they were being looked over, but I'm not sure if there's any additional comments on them.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and open it up for committee members, any questions or comments on the case. And even if your comment is, you haven't had an opportunity to review it yet, those comments are appreciated as well. So I'll open it up to members.
Hi, this is James Malloy with Nina Foundry. Been working on this case. Just wanted to let everyone know I'm here to field any questions that might, need the input of a Foundry industry expert. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, James.
I know that you had emailed me a day or two ago about possibly showing an asterisk with a note regarding the plus or minus 5%. Did you want to talk more about that, or is it clear enough the way it is?
I believe it is clear enough the way it is. I'm not sure it's necessary.
James, I'm going to ask the question, do you know if competitors have had an opportunity to review this detail?
I do not know.
Okay. Who are some of the other competitor? This question isn't necessarily for James, but for any committee members, who are some of the other competitors that would be producing manholes for manhole frames and covers for municipalities that are here local or in general? Where does everybody get their manhole frames and covers from? And the reason why I ask is it wouldn't be a bad idea to push this detail over to them as well, give them a, you know,
I can tell you our main domestic competitors are East Jordan Ironworks and DNL Foundry.
Thank you, James.
But I can't speak to any imported competitors from outside the country. I'm not really sure what their names or
No,
labels are.
I think what you provided is sufficient. I'm going to do my due diligence and fire out the clean version to try to contact somebody over at these other foundries and at least get it in front of them. If I don't get a response, then I don't get a response. But I at least want to do that due diligence and send it out, give them an opportunity to take a look at what's coming.
Okay. I did share with, I'm not sure if you saw it, but I did share a presentation that my competitor East Jordan Ironworks did at a Public Works show in Washington State regarding modernized castings and basically casting design. It was published online by the Public Works Association. So there is a link that you can kind of see their presentation, and a lot of what they're saying is in line with these changes. That is kind of a supporting thing from them, but not a direct message from them. But yeah.
Yeah, so it should be pretty seamless then and pretty smooth if they see this detail, it sounds like.
Yes. I can provide that link to the committee.
Yeah, if you want to forward that over to Gordon, he can distribute.
I think, Mr. Chairman, EJ, East Jordan is pretty common out here. I know we get hard materials from East Jordan, so that they might be a good one to reach out to for sure.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Yeah, I'll get that sent out. Other than that, unless, I mean, this is up for possible action, unless somebody wants to motion for this case the way it's approved or the way it's written, they're more than welcome to do so. Jim, what's your feeling on this? I know with the water sewer working group, you guys have been working on it. Would you like it to run through the committee another time?
Yeah, I really think we need to reach out to at least one other manufacturer and let's just look at the clean. You know, there's a couple different versions here. I want to make sure that everybody's seen the latest cleanup one. So I think we should, do it, postpone it another month and just double check everything and make sure everybody has had a chance to see
Yeah, I think that's appropriate. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, James, for your input.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Any other questions, comments, concerns on this case from committee members? All right. Hearing none, we're going to move into agenda item number 12. This is case 25-12, revised section 326 and 719, design and placement of polymer modified asphalt concrete. This one's also sponsored by the Asphalt Materials Working Group. Is this, so Greg obviously isn't here anymore. Is this one going to be updated by Hunter or by Rob? Okay. Let us have it, Rob. Give us an update.
So after the last meeting, we got some good comments back from the city of Phoenix, some edits and cleanups, some discussion points. So those updates were made. We had some discussions. There was, I think the main update made between last month and this month is we added, instead of just having the in-place air voids, we wanted to show the percent compaction as well. That way, if the specification's written percent compaction, it's easy for them to match up in that chart. There was a lot of discussion throughout the meeting. We think after this month, after July, I believe 21st meeting, we'll be able to present it to the ARPA Asphalt Committee and to AGC and get their feedback. And then we're going to continue to work on this throughout the year. That way, next year when MAG gets back to work, we will have more meetings and get this thing finalized, hopefully in the first quarter or two of the year.
Great. Has any of the East Valley, who all's been involved from the East Valley?
Nobody really has been in our meetings from the East Valley. It's mainly City of Phoenix. Maricopa County was at the meeting, so we haven't got a lot of participation other than those folks. But I'm sure once it goes to through ARPA and that, a lot more people put eyes on it. So
Yeah, start drumming up some more.
yeah,
interest.
but we've got some good efforts going on in the room. Like I said, City of Phoenix has been a tremendous help with us. I know they have a lot of interest in it, and we'd like to get it written where there's very few, if any, supplements. So, obviously sometimes we can't get it there with everything. So we're just going to keep striving forward to have a universal spec that everyone can start using.
Yeah, I think with those municipalities that have the laboratory and the bituminous testing equipment, it's really in their wheelhouse,
Correct. So, and I mean, just an example of a project I was on, it was kind of a overlay project. It was a county project, and it was like, man, if we had this polymer modified asphalt mix, it would be a perfect application and actually make this roadway last a lot longer than just using a traditional mag mix. So there's roadways out there we could use this on. So hopefully we can get it in there next year so we can start using it. We welcome all participation and comments. Like I said, we'll be meeting on the 21st of August, that Thursday at noon. Lunch will be provided, or if you can't make it down there, definitely call in and be part of the discussion.
Yeah, we'll recap on that in item number 17. We'll get to that for sure. Thank you for that update. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, Mr. Chairman.
Any other committee members have any questions or comments on this case?
No, just that Avondale supports it. We were at the meeting last month, and we're in favor of it. It was a good meeting, very detailed, but making progress. It's a lot of work, but I think next year we'll be real close to getting it done. So.
I apologize, Jim. You were there and had some good input. Thank you.
I was wondering about the East Valley guys because the evac mixes and whatnot. I was wondering what their thought was on it.
When we started this,
they're probably saying finally.
When our discussion with them was, with the East Valley, they're like, hey, we're good with what we have, just adopt ours and it's, gonna go. But obviously not every city can adopt their version. So, but just going through their spec, I think they've been the front runner on this and have already put in the work. So now all the other cities and municipalities need to kind of pick through and see what they want to see and kind of move forward for the rest of the agencies.
Thank you, Rob.
Hey, Rob, I think I can almost picture who you were quoting when you said that.
I'm sure you deal with the gentleman often, and
yeah,
it is a good mix. I've been out on City of Mesa projects, especially through the ASU consortium, and you guys are doing good work out there, and all the other cities can thank you once they all have it down in their roadways.
Should I thank you now or later, Ryan? All right. Any other comments or questions from other committee members? All right, this one will obviously be rolling over into next year, which is fine, but we'll go ahead and move into agenda item number 13. This is case 25-13, update section 220.8, payment for riprap, Maricopa County. This one's up for possible action, for discussion and possible action. Marty, is there any recent updates on this case?
No, there isn't any additional updates.
Pretty straightforward, huh?
Pretty straightforward. And last month I got it confused with a different spec. That's like I think I might get other people confused. But yeah, this is pretty straightforward.
All right. Open it up to committee members for any questions or comments. All right. I'm not hearing any. With that, I'll entertain a motion to vote and approve on this case.
So this is Marty McDowell. What am I supposed to say?
Your motion.
Motion to approve. Motion to approve.
Thank you, Marty. With that, I'll look for a second.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second.
Thank you, Jose. We'll go ahead and move into a roll call vote on this case.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, let's start with the maker of the motion, which was Maricopa County.
Yes.
Okay, this is case 2513. Excuse me, Mesa,
Yes.
Peoria,
Yes.
Phoenix,
Yes.
Scottsdale.
Yes.
Thank you, Scottsdale. Surprise. Tempe,
Yes.
Tolleson, Youngtown,
Yes.
ADOT,
Yes.
Avondale,
Yes.
Buckeye, Chandler,
Yes.
El Mirage,
Yes.
Lawrence not present, Gilbert,
Yes.
Glendale,
Yes.
and Goodyear is not present. So the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Gordon. Thank you, everyone. I feel like we have traction today. We have our boots on today. We'll move into agenda item number 14. This is case 25-14 revised detail 420-1 to require the forming of cast in place manhole bases. This one also is up for possible action today. There were, real quick, Jim, I'm going to ask you for an update here in a second, but there was, I mean, it's pretty straightforward on the detail with the note, but there was an update to the spec that was not included in the packet. Do you want to kind of elaborate on that?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Chairman. So, yeah, I went back into the specs section on 625 or 625.3, and I looked through there and I thought this would be a good place to add that in there. Where formwork shall be used in the placement of the concrete bases to accommodate the required base outside dimensions and to allow for the design pipe penetrations. You know, indirectly, if you read that, if you read the current paragraph there, it, you know, basically it calls out a manhole base as a structure. So then it references sections 505, and if you read through 505 for structures, it talks about, you know, they require formwork. So kind of indirectly, you know, you could probably, you know, tell a contractor you got to use forms, but I just think it's a little more clear to put it here, so you don't have to go to the 505, and you know, it's not really clear in 505. It does say use forms, but it doesn't say manhole bases need forms. So I just thought it would be some simple sentence to add to this paragraph. But I'm open for any, you know, other suggestions or comments on that. So I just think this will just help support the detail, or if somebody doesn't go to the detail, we just kind of cover our bases. So.
I agree, Jim. I'm in 100% support of this. And I like the fact that we're not chasing in the spec here. We're not extrapolating out to other specs that tie to other specs, tie to other specs. Let's just get it in there up front and center. This is a point of contention for all of our inspectors, and we go round and round from time to time on it. So
we just rejected one last week that it was oval, it wasn't round. It just you couldn't even tell if it was a proper dimension because it's oblong shaped, and you know, we're not going to go down there and measure it, you know, just to see if you got the extra 4 inches you need on the side. So it's just, I don't know. To me, just trying to build something on a blob of concrete doesn't make sense. So,
well, and you know, forms, you can calculate a quantity based on forms. You can guesstimate a quantity based on a blob, right?
Yeah.
I've run into situations casting bases in place where we ended up having a cold joint because they ran out of mud, or they're trying to steal concrete and skinny it up. and restack it just to have enough to finish out, you know, their work. So I think it's overdue, and I appreciate the simplicity to the case. Now, this one is up for possible action, but I'll open it up to the committee members for any discussion or comments. And like I said, those comments can be, hey, I haven't had time to review this yet, or yeah, hey, I'm in support of this, so, or whatever. So open it up to committee members.
Mr. Chairman and Jim, I guess I had a comment, and I don't know if you guys discussed it at the working group, but should we implement this also to storm drain manhole bases to be consistent?
We could. I'd probably
Not as
like to accept-
critical, not as critical, but not a bad idea.
Yeah, this case was just for the sewer manhole. We could do another one maybe next year for the storm drain as well. So.
Mr. Chairman, just a point of clarification. Is formwork one or two words? I thought it was one word. Is forms or formwork?
What does the Google machine say?
I think the noun is formwork.
Any committee members have any preference on, I would say 2 words.
Right below that is the term no brickwork is one word, but it's not my attention.
The definition in MAC.
I know when I typed it in the spell check, it kind of didn't like the 2 or 1 word. So.
Okay.
That's what I'm seeing as well.
Just again, I saw the word just below that brickwork, so got my attention. That's all.
Should we hyphenate it?
It looks like it's predominantly one word when I'm looking in my search here, so, but
Yeah, I'm finding that is one word.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing the same. Yeah, let's bring, Jim, you want to bring those 2, say we bring those 2 words together, form and work?
Sure.
And make form work?
Yeah.
That would be on the detail too.
Yeah, it's on the detail as well.
Yeah, we'll do it in both places. So.
and this is Warren. I'm Chandler's definitely in favor of this case too. So thanks, Jim.
All right, any other committee members have any questions or comments? Good catch, Peter. I'm glad we keep.
I have a question about the width, if you can go back to the detail. So I see the 4-inch typical outside of the shaft, but the shafts aren't always the same if you're using like the Armor Rock ones that are already polymer versus concrete risers that may need coated. Is there a minimum wall thickness? I thought it was always like a 1 foot minimum thickness on the wall.
4 inch. Well, from the wall to 4 inches out, correct? Am I misunderstanding?
From where the inside of the shaft, where your diameter per plan is, so the inside of that, 1 foot minimum out.
Minimum, right.
Well, we didn't want to put a specific mention because it is per plan, so the diameter could change. 48-inch manhole or 60-inch, and so the 4
Yeah, that's inside diameter. I'm talking about the thickness of the wall of the base itself below the shaft.
Yeah. Again, that'd have to be calculated. This is only for cast in place bases. It's not for precast bases.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about is for cast in place.
Yeah.
So we're not, that's a kind of a separate discussion, I would say, because that's the detailed dimension, which this proposed change isn't addressing dimensions. It's just basically using the formwork to meet the minimum base dimension shown. So Mike, are you saying that there's incorrect dimensions?
Well, that 4-inch, that's typical. I can't tell if that's showing how far the outside of the manhole base is supposed to extend outside the shaft, or if that's the thickness of the grout that they're supposed to use, which most companies don't do that anyway, on the outside of the shaft on the base.
What I'm seeing is that's the space between, that's the overpour of the base.
Okay. So like if being that this is sewer and a lot of municipalities now are going to polymer because those have become more popular, polymer manhole shaft is only about 2.5 inches thick, whereas the standard shaft material like from Jensen, Oldcastle, whatever, are typically 6 inches thick. So should there just be a minimum wall thickness at the bottom of 1 foot thick, 1 foot wide?
Yes.
And this is Warren, if you go down to page 420-2, that note 6, maybe we get into that kind of consistency, where that's for kind of what Mike was saying, precast concrete manhole bases. We have a note that was 13, actually. It says, manhole bottoms shall extend outside the manhole wall a minimum 6-inch wide on 48-inch bases, 7-inch wide on 60-inch bases, and 8-inch wide on 72-inch bases. Maybe we look at adopting that same for the cast in place.
Or
and just get rid of that 4-inch typical, then just maybe add another asterisk with a note to reference note 13 or something.
yeah, I think, yeah, Mike, that's kind of where I was going, is maybe we just red line out that 4-inch typical. Let's Jim, let's look at that a little closer in the working group. What's your thoughts on it? I see you over there mowing. What's your thought?
Well, again, the 420-2 is precast, so I don't want to take the 4-inch minimum off.
Oh, you are correct. Yeah.
Because this is for cast in place, so I think we're trying to expand this beyond what it's intended for. So I think for precast it's covered in this 420-2. So I think we're okay with the way it is now. I mean, maybe we can clean up the drawing. I mean, make on the dimensions there to make sure it's 4 inches from whatever the outside diameter is to the edge of where the form should be. But
well, that's how I read the detail anyway.
it's pretty clear to me. So
from the way the arrow's written, now the arrow is within that thickness of the barrel there, so it is kind of obscure, a little difficult to see the arrow. But when you look at it, it is for the outside, from the outside dimension of that barrel, the outside circumference of that barrel to the edge of the base is 4 inches.
Yeah, I'm just looking at, if we're using polymer and we're doing deeper installations, because the only thing that changes with depth is the thickness of the actual base itself. So if you're using polymer and you only got a 2.5-inch thick wall, then you add that 4 inches, you only have a 6.5-inch minimum thick wall. And the concrete guys, to save money, are going to form it to that. So is that wall only 6.5 inches thick really going to hold the weight of those risers in a 20-foot deep application when the base itself is a minimum of 12 inches thick?
Yeah, that's more of a dimensional type correction. Anybody
Right
else?
now with the standard concrete shaft we get, they're 6 inches thick, so that would give you a 10-inch thick wall all the way around. But with the new technology, without having to do the coating with the polymers, I can see from a supplier standpoint, a guy that builds manholes, oh, well, now that we're using these, we can shrink these bases down a little bit, still charge the same amount of money. The risk is on them if it cracks and doesn't pass the pressure test, the vacuum test, but it doesn't always necessarily crack within the first 30 days either.
So what do you think that dimension should read?
I think it should just be a minimum wall thickness of 12 inches.
from 12 inches, from where to where?
From where the inside of the shaft is to the outside of the base where that 4-inch typical shows.
Are you talking about the thickness from here to
Yeah.
here?
Yes.
Okay.
Or essentially where your pipe penetration would be.
But again, it doesn't matter. I mean, the base, the thickness of the shaft is what it is. I mean, if you got a manufacturer who wants to make them an inch thicker, that's fine. You know, I think we still want 4 inches beyond whatever it is. So I think that might confuse it, be more confusing. I mean, if it's polymer, you still, and you're gonna put a polymer shaft on a cast in place base. What's wrong with still requiring the 4 inches past the outside diameter?
Well, that 4 inches doesn't change. It's just the thickness of that wall where the pipe penetration is does.
So
I mean, typically when you
you're-
use polymer anymore, you're using precast bases anyways.
That's what I mean. I just don't think it applies to this case.
So you're concerned if you have a thinner wall, you're going to end up with a thinner base that may not support it?
A thinner
Yeah.
section, or yeah, that's what.
I mean, I like the idea of forming because I can't tell you how many times I've had to tie into a manhole and you dig up the side you're going to tie in, and all of a sudden you got to core through 4 feet of concrete because it was just a blob thrown down in the hole. So having it formed up is great. I just don't want to take away from the structural integrity of that base either.
And the only time you see that happening is when you use a thinner wall barrel section, such
Yeah.
as.
Such as the polymers. Because I mean, we still do some cast in place bases with polymers, but then the bases need to be coated.
Maybe.
I mean, I think there is something to it, Mr. Chairman, because right on a larger pipe, you do have a reinforced wall, especially if it's a straight through section. It can be a very tall section that is now going to be really thinner. You don't have to have those issues before because the blob kind of was always going to give you a thicker wall, no matter what.
So see where it says flow with the arrow to the left. Go over the arrow to the left, and is that your cursor arrow in the concrete there, Gordon? Yeah, okay. Put your cursor arrow back where it was. From that point, nope, to the right a little bit. From that point there, now go to the right to that point, and then we drop it below and put a dimension in there, minimum 1 foot thickness.
I think that's what it's been trying to address, to make sure now that it's going to be a formed section that is thick enough to.
Let's look at that in the working group, Jim.
Okay.
At that point, would you want to change that 4-inch typical to 4-inch minimum? Because you may have a significantly.
Yeah, potentially. But let's discuss this more in the working group now that we kind of have our head wrapped around Mike's concern. And yeah, Mike, that's definitely, thank you. That's a valid concern.
I just hope they all get formed because then I can just drill into a 1 foot thick wall. I get that core done in an hour.
Yeah, versus 4. All right. Any other questions or comments on this case? All right, hearing none. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jim.
Okay, yeah, thanks for the comments and the discussion. So I'll redline something up and we'll talk about it at the working group. And I would still like to have this for then for possible action at next month's meeting.
Absolutely. We'll leave it up for possible action for next month. All
Okay,
right.
thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Let's move into agenda item number 15. This is case 25-15, revised curb ramp details, 236 and 237 series. This is brought to us by the ADA Working Group. Warren, are you going to give us an update on this case?
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. Nothing new in the packet. No, we touched on it in the working group. Nothing came out of the discussions to make any revisions at this point in the working group. So I'm open to any comments. I haven't received anything outside of that at this point as well.
All right. I'll open it up to discussion or questions from committee members or comments from committee members. So Warren, since we're not getting anything else on this, are you comfortable with putting this up for action at September's meeting?
I am. I believe we should have this in since it is now in the final PROAG.
All right, Gordon, yeah, let's put this up for possible action in September. All right. Any other questions or comments from committee members? All right, hearing none, we're going to move into agenda item number 16. This is case 25-16, revise some subsections. This is for the 795 section. This is coming from the outside of right-of-way working group. Peter, would you like to talk to us about Cilium and
Yes, thank you, Mr.
how
Chairman.
that
Yes.
works?
This was presented again, since it was kind of an idea of the group that was put together for the July meeting to make sure that we would get it within this year. So there'd be potential to get it voted on. So in our July meeting, we had an extensive discussion, went through the details with the rest of the committee to get input. And that's why I don't think it's ready for a vote yet. I'm hoping next time we will be there. I just want to make sure we get a chance for people to give input. During the meeting, I think the only discussion really we had centered around the type B, which would be the psyllium husk. I think psyllium.
Cilium.
Yeah, psyllium husk
It's a laxative,
material.
I believe.
And there was a concern on the cost of the material being higher than potentially other ones. And it was discussed by Wayne, our landscape architect involved. He thought the labor was probably the most expensive component of it. But again, this is an option, not a requirement. So I think at the time we asked everybody to go back, take a look again, see if they had any comments to bring to the August 21st meeting of the working group, if there'd be any changes made. Otherwise, we haven't received any other comments on it. Do you remember anything else? Yeah, I think that was it. Really, I think this is one, I think we should have it. If there's any comments, we should get it before the end of this month and be able to make any modifications so we could vote on it in September.
Okay, so we'll move this up for possible action in September. I'm going to open this up to the committee members for any questions or comments for discussion. All right, I'm not hearing much. We'll go ahead and move on to agenda item number 17. This is the working group reports. We'll start off with the water sewer working group. Jim, would you like to provide us a summary and your next meeting?
All right, thanks, Mr. Chairman. So, yeah, the Water and Sewer Working Group met virtually on July 15th. Basically just covered the cases we went over. So I'm not going to go into detail on that. That's about it, really. Nothing really new.
All right.
I can recall. The next meeting will be August 19th at 1:30, virtual.
Thank you. And outside of right-of-way working group,
And thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, similarly, we've covered a lot of the items talked about this meeting during that discussion. We have looked at additional cases. We do have some draft riprap spillway details that were presented to the working group. We did have some discussion on those. I asked those members. We had a little bit of a lean attendance, so I want to continue to try to get input from people on those. I think concerns still remain on riprap bottoms being problematic for maintenance, but still maybe offering that option because in certain circumstances it is being used on severe slopes, things like that. Smaller curb cut areas, we know that is the primary option being used. So we're going to continue to work on that, and our goal is by the January meeting to have something present to the committee itself.
And when are you guys meeting next?
Our next meeting is on August 21st. It is also, it's a virtual meeting. We encourage attendance on that. We are trying to also expand to talk about the various types of detention tanks and detention tank options. I think we're going to start, I think that's what we really want to work on the next few months, going from the CMP type now expanding to the other types and start working on those. So
Not necessarily retention, but detention.
detention, yeah, the detention tanks.
And that's 1:30 also?
Be at 10:30.
10:30, I'm sorry.
10:30 to try to avoid conflict with the materials working group, asphalt materials.
Thank you, Peter. All right, we'll move into the asphalt materials concrete working group. You guys want to give an update or give a report in the next day and time of your meeting? I think we already did that under one agenda item. We're going to do it again though, Rob.
Yep, no, that's good.
Practice.
I
makes
want to promote it.
progress.
So we're going to be working on the 326, 719. We're going to let everyone know that the AASHTO versions in the MAG book are going to be replacing the Arizona test methods, and that was voted on and approved. We typically like to talk about an asphalt approved products list every month just to see if we can get that kicked off so everyone has that. And anything else anyone wants to bring, we're up for making changes and getting things done in there. So open for discussion for any topic there.
When's your next meeting?
Our next meeting is the 21st at 12:00 p.m.
Lunch is served.
Correct. It's a pretty good one too.
Right.
I second that. It's a good lunch.
If you go there for anything, go there. If you don't go there for anything, at least go there for the lunch. All right. No, those guys definitely encourage the participation from municipalities. So if you have the opportunity, join the group. I have in the past. They're good group of people that just want to get stuff done. All right, ADA working group. Is that going to be Warren or Jose?
That'll be me,
Thank you.
Jose. Look forward to having you back next or this month. We did meet on the 17th. Again, pretty well attended meeting, and we had some good discussion. We only have the one current open case that the working group was looking at, is that 2515. Then we moved into looking at a draft I'd put together for potential revisions related to the crosswalks for the different slope allowances I think we touched on for crosswalks, either marked or unmarked, between the ramp crossings. For example, it's the allowance is 2.1 with yield or stop control devices. It's 5% at uncontrolled approaches and 5% with traffic control signal or beacon. So what we had talked about was whether we should, add that to the curb ramp details, showing the crosswalk limits and adding some notes and such, which we drafted up and talked through. So that was the biggest discussion. One of the comments that came out of that was maybe looking at using developing something similar to what Mesa has for their typical crosswalk striping its signalized intersections. So we have their detail, which was shared in the working group. I'm gonna look at maybe developing something like that, looking at Mesa's detail and seeing how that might work, and that would be potentially shared at this next meeting. So that was the biggest discussion. We talked a little bit about the bus bays. I know we're kind of waiting to hear from Valley Metro. Thanks, Jose, for reaching out to them. What kind of minor updates or how extensive of updates that we might need to make to that detail 252. Likewise, with the bike ramps, I did touch on in the working group, Jose, that we might have something to share at this month's meeting. So that was the bulk of the discussion. Those other items, we didn't have anything too extensive on. So, but the next meeting would be this month, August 21st, virtual again.
What time?
2:30.
All right, everybody take the day off and hit them all. All right. Thank you, Warren. Thank you, everybody, for your updates. Let's move into agenda item number 18. This is the staff report. I think Gordon might have something he wants to share with the group. Gordon?
Thank you, Chair. First is just a reminder that we're going to be looking for new chairs and vice chairs for next year. So there should be a solicitation letter going out this month sometime, I believe. But if you're interested at any time or you want more information, feel free to contact me. Or I might end up contacting you. So there's the implied threat, I guess. But really, the chairs and vice chair is it's essential for our committee, but it's also not a huge lift. And I'm certainly here to support you if you're interested in serving in that manner. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that we have already approved all the cases for the outside right-of-way update. So I have made those updates and included the draft updates in the packet this month. So if you wanted to review those and make sure that there was everything captured in there and kind of get a preview of what's going to be in the update, you can do that. Similarly, when the cases like we had several passed today, then I can get started on making the updates. And as I do, I will be sending that information out to the case sponsors for your review so that you can make sure to prove that I've got all the corrections made as were shown in the red lines. So if you are a sponsor, be on the lookout for that. And finally, after the last meeting of the year is when I'll put together the entire update packet that goes to the Public Works directors. So if you have had a recent change or a new director or streets director that you want to receive the update packet for their review, please contact me so we can add them to our database. That's about all I have for now, unless you have any questions.
Thank you, Gordon. I just want to reiterate on that chair, vice chair. Really encourage. We need somebody. I mean, I'm only able to do this for 2 years. We're going to need somebody for me to hand the baton to, and it's really not that daunting of a task. There's a little preparation involved. You know, Ryan Nichols handed me the baton. I was 2-3 meetings in, probably just green as can be. And I was able to muddle my way through the first and second meeting and then get traction. It really was not that bad at all. And honestly, if all else fails, you can put it on if you're going for a raise, you can put it on your goals and potentially get it exceeds expectations, you know. That's what I did, and it worked out great for me. I'm hoping we'll get a volunteer, and it won't be voluntold. It doesn't feel as natural that way. So I know a few potential candidates that I'll reach out to separately, but we're really looking for somebody from Central Phoenix to the East Valley, since, you know, I'm with Glendale. I've represented it, you know, kind of west of the median there, and now we'll look for somebody central or east. So please consider it and reach out to Gordon or myself. And as Gordon said, he'll help. I'll help anybody, anytime. Prepare for the meeting. Whatever you got to do if you want to do this and you need my assistance, I'm there for you. Not the best, but I'm there. So I'm reliable. So with that, we'll move into agenda item number 19 for general discussion. This is just basically topics of interest related to the specifications or construction practices or technologies. Is there anything that anybody would like to share?
Yeah, this is Marty from McDowell. I have basically a question to the committee members. And this, in a recent AGC meeting, the contractors have stated that they have a challenge with police availability and rates on construction projects. And the contractors are stating basically that they're not brokers, that are used to find police officers to assist on projects. And in that situation, the officers have discovered that if they wait to the last minute to sign up for duty, they would get a higher rate of pay. And this rate is generally higher than the contract rate. And the contractors who consistently lose money are not able to get police officers to assist, which means the contractor may not be able to do work. So that came out of an AGC meeting that we talked to basically my supervisor, and they wanted me to pose it to the committee members if they have any thoughts or have noticed similar issues.
Interesting.
Have been many. So
Does anybody have any comments on that?
that really doesn't affect the dot on the way we pay, because we pay by allowance on that, and we pay for the invoices. So it doesn't matter what the invoice is going to be in the end. We're going to be paying that. So
Right.
they don't lose money on our side, but
Yeah, thank you.
so if anybody had any thoughts on that, just reach out to me or anything. But thank you.
Thank you, Marty. One other item to note, on the 21st, I had a lunch and learn with US Pipe. They presented on zinc coated pipe and the V-Bio corrosion protection. It was great. We had a huge turnout. I did have others from outside Glendale, a couple others attend, and now we're going to look, Glendale, myself, engineering division, and I'm primarily leading this. I'm looking at the life cycle cost comparison between the V-Bio and the standard black poly wrap. I did find that the V-Bio is, 150% more in cost or 100% more in cost, but it is a very, very, very small dollar value compared to the whole entire project. So, but we're going to look at that, kind of project out. We'll look at some past how many lineal feet of pipe we put in the past, kind of do a life cycle cost analysis on that, and then potential for future. But that's what I have. The only other thing is the August 7th tomorrow is the high polymer asphalt binder and mixture presentation at ADOT. Are you guys from the materials working group involved in that at all? Yeah.
Chandler's planning to attend that.
Yeah, I'll be there. That's all I had for that. Any other committee members have any comments?
It's 3 o'clock. Well,
Yeah. All right. Move into agenda item number 20, request for future agenda items. And no, we're not going to set up nap time, Paul. Okay. Any other potential requests for future agenda items from committee members? All right. Moving into agenda item number 21. This is comments from the committee, general comments. We're not going to take action on anything. Any other comments from committee members? This is your last chance today, anyway.
Yeah, this is Jim from Avondale. I guess you guys probably heard there was an unfortunate fatality in Goodyear, I believe. A trench collapse. So just be safe out there and be careful. And when we, just be aware of it's, we always wrapped up in writing specs and all that, but it's the people that install this stuff that got to deal with it. And so they just we got to make sure that we just keep always safety in mind.
Thank you, Jim. I saw that, and it was my heart went out to the families. But
it's just crazy. It's just it's a lot of this stuff is preventable. It's really sad.
It is. Most of it is preventable. Thank you, Jim. Any other committee members have any updates on current events or anything? All right. With that, I'll call this meeting adjourned. Thanks, everyone. 3:06.